86th time coming at you.
Welcome to the Ultimate Deck Podcast. Ultimate Deck Podcast. Helping you keep your finger firmly pressed on the decking industry, the people in it, and the information you need to master the backyard. And now, host of the Ultimate Deck Podcast, Shane Chapman.
Wade Laurent. All right.
Yeah, then you say more things.
Yeah, but like, do you think that actually records right over top of his name? This is the very first episode I'm going to host. Shane is just along for the ride.
Yeah, that was a rough start.
That was rough.
It was not a rough start.
So we're 86. Why 86? 86 is Wade's favorite number. And so we decided today that you
86 is one of my favorite numbers because I worked in the restaurant industry, and when you were out of something, you were 86.
Yeah,
is that a real thing?
It. Yeah, you 86'd it.
Why is it?
True story.
What does that mean?
So I was looking that up, and Corey, the guy that used to work here, told me the meaning behind it, but it originated way back in the day, and it was about when people would get kicked out of the restaurant, and it was like they had been 86'd, and then it was now just like something that was banned from the restaurant.
Anything that was out.
86 and was out. And so now,
interesting.
if you're out of product, if you're out of whatever, you're out of wine or you're out of sauce of some kind or you're out of chicken, it's 86. And so we were talking about it today. It was like, it's episode 86. And I was like, we're out of the host. New host.
So you came up with the topic today? You came up with the items that are on
because
the
you
topic?
told me that I was like, I've never contributed to the topics before.
Right.
Bold move.
And then you opened it. You opened the show.
Here we go. Then open my drink.
I'm not going to handle being the second guy very well here. I like to talk too much.
So, speaking of my tasty beverages, this one's from my buddy
Garrett
McElveen.
I think that's true.
AZEK.
Yeah.
AZEK Timber Tech.
He's usually in here. Garrett Mellon.
Garrett Mellon from AZEK Timber Tech hooked me up with a coffee lager. Not my first choice for a lager, but I'll drink it.
Yeah. And?
No, I haven't had any.
You haven't taken a sip yet. And I've got from multinational local brewery here in Regina. Those guys are in Calgary, I think, right?
Yep.
Calgary.
And this is Regina. And Regina wins.
This is not bad.
It's good for what it is.
It's not bad.
I'm not a coffee lager guy.
But this sports, what is this called?
Sports.
Just called sports.
Just called sports.
Oh, yeah.
From multinational brewing? Oh, my goodness. It's good.
Drink it when you play sports. Is that the idea behind that?
Look at the labeling too, though. It is like it's what am I trying to say? It's
purple,
royal. It's like it's very.
Is that the first multinational you've ever had?
Nope, I drank the other ones that you brought too.
Oh, okay. No, but like you've never had any of their other beers?
I don't know that I have actually.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
Are they all this good?
Oh yeah, they're weird.
They're weird.
They had a cinnamon toast crunch beer.
Holy
hard pass.
It was awesome.
Come on. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't do that. So Pile of Bones is my go-to in town right now.
I would do that.
I like the Pile of Bones beer. Okay, we got an hour of fun stuff going on here. It looks like people are betting on us arm wrestling. Are we going to do that?
Yeah, we did a little thing where we got the Instagram fired up first before we started recording, and it's gotten people amped up. Like now they're all, it's like, I guess we should do it like this more often because now everybody's contributing and stuff. So do you want to go through these before we get to the worldly news?
Yeah.
Lumberjacks, everyone is stoked for Wade's topic. Yeah. So that's good. What is this, like how to work the next day through a hangover? Is that the topic today?
You just
We've seen that before.
Be entertained.
I'm pretty sure that was episode 83.
Donning and Decking says, isn't that all Shane does anyway? Wade is always the star.
That's right.
Ouch.
Yeah, exactly.
Rob,
Thanks,
LED Light
Bruce.
Guy says, anyone else think Wade is delaying the arm wrestle?
Yeah, I'm totally delaying the arm wrestle. I
Danny
think
from
I'll lose.
Lumberjacks thinks I'm the one delaying it. See, that's the problem. We're both delaying it. That's why it's not
We
happening.
both think we're going to lose. It's like neither of us want to.
An homage to the Lakers. Oh, yeah, there we go. The homage to the Lakers is sports beer, sure. And I don't know, whoever this JD guy, whatever, he's got lots of muscles. He wants the arm wrestle to
That's me. Okay, buddy. I'm going to drink a beer and I'm always
Anyways, we got
braver after
13
one.
people in here. You're good at this. You bring in a crowd when you host.
Okay, here we go. Worldly news by producer Bryce.
Producer Bryce, let's hear it. Let's hear the worldly news.
Is there an intro to that we were supposed to do?
Oh,
Ayo, touch my hand.
That's the worldly news.
that could be it, I guess. Hey, yo, touch my hand. It's the worldly news. Okay, let's go.
Okay, number one. I cut it down this week because we were really long last week.
Well, you had 5 last week. I've been going with 3, but
People fell asleep.
So I went with 3 this week.
Good call.
3 good ones is better than 5.
Okay, so Rotterdam police seized 2 tons of cocaine hidden amongst bananas.
That's a good spot. Like just in the bunch of there's like a bunch of bananas going to a grocery store. Like I don't understand.
Yeah, there was
In the banana or in the bunch of bananas?
Had they opened the bananas, put the cocaine inside,
It
then
sounds like
sewed
that.
the banana peel back up? Because
That's really smart.
that's commitment.
That is
Or you
impressive.
drill out the top, pour it in.
But if it's just
seal
like
the
you're
top.
at Costco and you take a few bunches of bananas off, throw a bag of Coke in it, and then put them back, not as
Not so
impressive.
tricky.
Yeah, I think that's what they did is they hid them within the bunches of bananas.
Oh shoot!
So does that even make sense? 'Cause
Those cocaine's got to Costco.
Don't
That's
bananas
okay.
pretty much get exported from the same market as where cocaine comes from?
They'll
Like,
never
is it-
look.
You like grow bananas in Colombia and Guatemala and
Yeah, they came out of Ecuador.
yeah, okay, see? So like that's a bad I've changed my tune. This is actually a bad place, a bad idea to put your cocaine in the bananas. It's too obvious.
Okay, that was quick.
Put it in the barley. Nobody's going to expect a barley farmer.
Okay, number 2. The ShamWow guy is now selling masks.
Oh, like COVID mask.
Yeah.
Isn't he in prison?
I want to see that video.
Didn't he beat up a stripper
This is true. He did.
or a
Like the-
prostitute or something?
The blonde guy, right? The
Yeah.
blonde skinny guy.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then slap chop. He was like,
You're going to love my nuts. That
Yeah.
guy.
yeah. He
I
ended
have-
up in jail.
I have the video
He beat up somebody. Okay.
You have the video of what?
of the ShamWow commercial. So I'll
Oh.
just put it up. You can hear it.
Okay.
Get the ShamWow mask made in Germany and the USA. It's made with the same high-tech material used to make surgical masks. But the thing is, you can't wash these. ShamWows are machine washable, reusable, and disposable masks. Come on, you're wasting them like you're a billionaire at a nightclub. Check this out. ShamWows are infused with real zinc to help fight and stop bacteria and other microbes. It's light, breathable, and has a cotton inner layer for comfort. Almost all cloth masks are made with woven fibers, which allow airborne germs and viruses to get through easily. But ShamWow is non-woven and prevents microbes from entering, keeping you safe and sound. So you get it all. Comfort, zinc, reusability, and the best protection. Those other masks you see on TV are made in China. I love Chinese people too, but come on. Quality-wise, go with the USA. And you save the environment. Forget the environment. Save yourselves.
This is not
ShamWow
real.
mask with zinc for only $29.99 plus free shipping.
I'm
If you
ordering
call
them.
now, you'll get a second ShamWow mask free. Just pay for processing. Call 1-800-239-2134. That's 1-800-239-2134. 1-800-
There's no way that's real.
Yeah,
That is not real.
ShamWow selling masks.
That is a spoof.
ShamWowmask.com.
You're telling me that's real.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's the guy?
it's the same
When
guy.
he's, like, you can tell he's been to prison. You can listen to his voice now. He's had something busting up his vocal cords.
Okay. One more worldly news.
One more worldly news.
Hey, now we're selling masks from ShamWow. It's like, when did he start sounding like that?
I like Chinese people.
That's like, that's something else. Okay, but if you're going to wear a mask, you might as well wear an
It
absorbent
looks
one.
like a ShamWow.
Does it? It's like
It looks
the
like
yellow.
a ShamWow on your face.
That's
Yeah.
dual purpose. That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart.
You spill
If
something.
it can
you
mop
just-
up your wine, it can mop up your COVID cough.
That's right.
I think you you might have a gig here in the telemarketing world. You might be able to go on the
Me?
Shopping Network channel.
Why? Because I'm like,
Your enthusiasm was good.
I'm excited about
If
it.
it can mop, if it can mop up your wine, it can mop up your COVID
cough. Yeah.
So-
Anyways, he's kind of the king
Last
of it,
one.
though.
Last one.
Okay.
The police in Australia said a driver was pulled over for speeding on a highway and he gave a great excuse. He was fighting off one of the world's deadliest snakes with a knife going 76 miles an hour.
The snake was in his car,
Yeah.
and he was battling the snake while he was
battling
driving.
the snake while he was driving.
I
And
think
was
that
this
if-
a true story?
This
like
is
the
a
cop
true
was
story.
Like, the cop was like, "Well, hot damn, there is a snake in here."
So I think if I was doing that, I'd stop. I'd get out of the car. I don't think I'd get the car to 76.
Yeah, what was going faster gonna do?
I'm not sure.
Kept him pinned to the window at the back. I don't think so, man. He's in the car now. He's doing 76
If I
too.
go fast enough, I'll give him the speed thrills, and you'll get all like queasy in his tummy, and then in all of his tummies, you'll get queasy, and then
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
fine. So did he get off? Is that
Yeah. He
like
got
I
off.
need to know?
The cop was like,
The cop was like,
Hey.
yeah.
that's as original
Found
as
the
ever.
dead snake in his car with a
Oh,
knife
so he
in
won.
it. Yeah.
So it helped. Going faster helped, maybe. Does it work if you get caught on a speed camera asking for a friend?
Probably not.
Did you get that?
Did you get a ticket?
Did it show up at your house?
Did you hear about that?
I-
Did you hear about the $6,000 ticket? Richard?
No, wait, I didn't get hit with the speed camera. It was a cop in the ditch where the speed camera usually gets me.
I was watching for the camera, no camera, boom, lights
Yeah.
are on. Yeah, boy.
I was like, oh, it seems to be a Chevy Suburban parked in front of this where the speed camera usually goes in the ditch. I wonder what that's all about. There it is. Yeah, I got a ticket on the way to Saskatoon. Davidson. They've been hanging out there
Oh, yeah, that's really bad.
in the
a bad
ditches
spot.
since they've started their, what are they calling that? Smart
Is that what they call it?
campaign, their speed and whatever, blah, 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 blah. They now park in the ditches at Davidson and catch people that don't slow down for the 80 zone there. And like,
They got you.
Is what it is. You got away with one in January because you went through Moose Jaw and there was like the camera flashed and you called me. You were like, hey, bad news. I'm in your truck and the camera just went
That's
off.
a bad one too.
oh yeah.
He was doing 110, 115.
In an 80 zone.
Yeah, the camera flashed.
You were just too fast fighting
The
snakes.
camera didn't get it because it was blurry. It wasn't a high resolution enough.
Here's what it never came. Like I never got the ticket
Oh, that's good.
because it would
I
be
phoned the cops the next day. I was like, what's the frames per second on your cameras out there? Like, how is there like a
Okay.
what do they call it when an airplane like breaks the speed sounds?
barrier,
Like
yeah.
sound barrier, they get a big puff, like a big boom, like weird thing around them. I had that going through that camera. So it saved me. And I was gone. Hit 77 miles an hour. Okay, before we
Back
get
to
onto
the
this thing
future
here, we got to
stuff.
figure out, like, we got to keep up with the Instagram today. It's
busy.
It's wild.
Okay, we're arm wrestling.
306 VoiceWorks. Cameron says, Wade's pretty. He draws a crowd.
Yeah,
Can't disagree with
because
that.
of the gray hair.
What else we got here? People saying hi to Kevin. He's popular.
Speaking of pretty people, hey,
No kidding. He should be hosting this thing. He loses it though when he gets on camera though. On
Does he?
mic. Yeah, he gets all sweaty and nervous and
not as bad as
Winner-
Simcoe.
LED Light Guy
No.
says winner of the arm wrestle can give away to a live viewers a $250 lighting package.
Simon,
What about Simon? Oh
like Pure View Simon,
yeah.
he gets nervous on the camera, man.
Sundeck thinks we should have shots of scotch. What else
Yeah.
we got in here? What would Wade do with the snake in the car?
I have a snake in the car every day, Rob.
Mr. Wayways from Loveland, Colorado. So welcome to the podcast. And then J. Rod Mindememen gets to battle winner. I still don't know who this is.
Is he coming? Are you going to come down here? Who is it?
I don't know. We have to look him up afterwards. J. Rod. Anyway, what's your topic?
Arm wrestling.
Let's get this over with.
Planning is everything.
Okay?
And so I want to talk about how you should plan out your deck.
Sure.
All right. I love making lists. It's one of my
you-
favorite things to do.
Do you have a
And
title for this podcast?
Planning is everything.
Oh, that's the title.
That's the title.
Oh, okay, I can work with that.
I wrote it in, I said it in bold.
Yeah,
so
I know
you
how
could
to-
tell.
Yep. I know how to type all those words, so I'll have no problem posting that.
And then, because I like lists, I think it's really good. It helps Bryce edit properly. He's able to chop it up easily. It helps with the flow of content and communication.
People love lists. What can you
People
say?
love lists, right? I've known this my whole life, so this is why I wrote the list.
Right. Yeah.
The irony behind this is I actually hate lists, and Shane was like, "You have to put it in a list," and I was like, "This is such crap. Why
'cause
can't
you
we just
can't-
talk about the good things that you plan?"
We can't show up with a topic of the week. We're just going to generally.
I'm going to ramble on for 45 minutes. That's what we do.
True.
Fine. Alrighty. So, planning. So I believe this is basically for homeowners. This is not for contractors. This is the stuff that the contractors can use to tell the people they're building for,
Okay.
or this is just for DIY people.
Yeah.
Have a clue what your budget is. Have an idea. Number one, you have to have a budget.
Yeah. It's not that important.
Exactly. For you.
Just tell them how much the deck is.
I
I should do what Wade does to me on this.
Have
Just
to.
like be devil's advocate and everything.
I have to
Budget doesn't matter.
control my spending, and so therefore I have to have a budget. I know that you have limitless money.
Yeah.
Not everybody is as wealthy as you.
Yeah, that's not what zeros mean. Zero's not infinity, unlimited.
So everybody's got a budget. I think that when you get that budget, people lie to you. That's what I think. I think it's usually a little bit more because they're nervous about that. They're scared to tell you.
It's hard to get out of them in the first place. That's the problem.
That's how I open.
Nobody wants to tell you their budget because they think you're after it.
I am.
It's like, we must look like desperate men. And we do. We don't shave.
I shave today, right?
Wearing the same shirts every day. It's like they show up and like, this guy needs to eat. Like he looks hungry. But yeah, people obviously, and this is more for contractors. I think as a retail store, people are a little bit more at ease because it's like you're not just driving a truck around. There's like a place. They feel a little bit more comfortable trusting a place that has a location and there's products and they can see what's going on. There's more than one person that works there and there's other customers there. And there's like a lot of things to put them at ease. But for contractors, both of us having that in our past, we both know that walking in, asking somebody for a budget right away doesn't get answered cleanly very often.
Yeah, it's like, hi, my name's Wade. I'm here to get all of your money. How much of it am I going to get?
Yeah. And you got to, before you ask, you got to look around, look inside of things, like look in their bread box, be like, what do you got in there? Like check their silverware drawer and be like, so how much are you looking to spend?
I pulled up. You got a pretty nice looking car there, so I already know you're going to lie to me.
You walk in, you're like, tradesies for the Porsche on this or what? But getting that out of them is like, it's so important. And it's one of the hardest things to get out of them until you've built some rapport. But they need to understand, too, the importance of giving you a budget, because you just talked about this today. You said there's a guy on Facebook that was like, how much is a deck? And this is like, as silly as that sounds, that's a word I'll use instead. As silly as that sounds, people ask that kind of question all the time. How much for a deck?
I typed a swear word.
How much for a car?
I deleted it.
Like, it's the same question. How much for a car? It could be 500 or 500,000 with a generic question like that.
Mm-hmm.
Average? 35,000. Like,
yep.
You can't answer the question without having some details around the project, and getting too far down the path of trying to give somebody a budget or like a quote without knowing what they're wanting to spend is a complete waste of everybody's time.
Yep. My time's valuable.
Get it out of them. You need to give the budget.
That's what I said. All right. Kevin from NFDI thinks it's just as much as they can borrow. I think that's probably fair.
All of it and whatever you can borrow. He's like, that's straight Slayer right there. That's like, what are you looking to spend? What's your credit limit? What's your credit score? This house remortgaged?
I get you set up on financing. Let's remortgage this baby.
Yep.
Let's get you something.
Own any other properties?
Have you had a spinning dining room table? No. Well, you could. Let's go. Number 2, it's probably important to look into zoning and setbacks.
Yeah.
And the space that's available.
Yeah.
No. No end then.
Yeah, so where we were going with that one was...
That was your idea. So you take it. I said don't.
Super awkward for me because usually I'm just able to like just go and then you fill in whatever you want, and now I'm in the back being like, I don't know how much he wants me to talk now. I'm supposed to like let him take the lead. But then there's these moments of silence and they make me weird inside. And
this was your idea, and I think nobody should get permits. No, I'm kidding. Did anybody watch last week? I was all over the guys. So, anyways.
306 VoiceWorks says, now you sound like a used car salesman. You're trying to get all that out of them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you want the rust protection with that? Yeah. Listen, the screws and nails I use, not for outdoor use. That's an upgrade. If you want, I can use the right nails. But you're going to pay for it. Okay? It's just bare spruce studs out of my basement I didn't finish. I had a handful of drywall screws and some other screws. I didn't know what they were. They had a weird head on them. I don't even have the driver for it. But
I think I can pound them in.
If you want to use listen, I'm cheaper though. Okay? You're going to get some quotes. Nobody's going to touch my price.
Nobody. Nobody touches my price.
If you want, I can put the outdoor stuff on. I think it's overrated.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what we're talking about there is like, you don't want to build a deck and find out you built it where you're not allowed to build it.
Yeah,
cities have rules.
Setback, space available. And so that can be a few things. It's like, it could be the rules of the city. It can also be just like pure size of your yard. You know, like don't come in planning a 700 square foot deck when you have 800 square foot backyard. That's silly.
I don't think so. I think it's absolutely genius.
You have nowhere to pee.
You want the right nails with that big ass deck. But in some places, like literally, and this is one, like a lot of building permit code rules come from the National Building Code book. So they're like every jurisdiction has their own tweaks to that, but a lot of them are similar, right? But when it comes to municipal or whatever setbacks, those rules can vary a lot. There's no national code on that. Is what I'm trying to get at there. So you need to check the building code because, for example, in Regina a few years ago, there was no rear yard setback.
That's a mouthful. I bet you couldn't do that 4 times in a row.
Rear yard setback? Nope, I'll be lucky to do it twice. But you used to be able to build right to the back of your fence if you wanted to, unless there was an easement there, which there typically was, like a 1.5 meter or 3 meter easement or something. Mm-hmm. But now they've just gone ahead and said, no, there's a setback at all properties now, regardless of easement of 3.5 meters. So you can't build within 11 feet of your back fence, no matter how big your yard is. And so you need to be familiar with those rules. In your town, it might be bigger, less, non-existent, and the side yards and everything else. You need to know the rules. You don't want to build this $40,000 deck and then find out you built it somewhere you can't when you go to sell your house. And then,
have you ever built a deck that was over an easement?
No. Really? I haven't. I did build one 4 inches into that setback when that was a new rule, though.
Plan one?
Yeah. Oh, recently there's a contractor that did one. Like I submitted the permit.
Like, you did the drawing.
And then was like,
yeah. You didn't pound the screws in on that one, but you drew it.
I drew it, but then I told him before that anything happened. I was like, this is not going to go. This is not going to fly. You're well into the easement here. We got some comments here. Trifecta Builders Inc. How do you combat when people say Home Advisors says the deck should cost this much? These lights in this make this hard to read. I got to take this mic and dip it like Elvis.
No, you know who it's like?
How do you combat when people say Home Advisors says the deck should... Oh, I see what
Freddie
he's saying.
Mercury.
Yeah.
So how do you...
Like Freddie Mercury.
This is a great question. Listen up.
When you took that mic, you looked immediately like Freddie Mercury. Because I was watching a Queen documentary the other day. God, he was so amazing.
Listen, this question's better than any of the points you came up with today.
The three
so
of
let's
us
talk about it.
We're all having different conversations. Fine.
Let's talk about it. What Trifecta Builders is asking is how do you combat when people say that Home Advisor says the deck should cost this much? So what he's talking about is that you go to these different websites like Home Advisors or Trex.com or whatever, and they'll give you an estimate based on like how big's your deck, and you're like you punch in 10 by 24, and it's like approximate cost of materials is this much. And now you go give the guy a quote. And you say, this deck is $24,000. And it was like, how is that possible? HomeAdvisors.com said it was going to be $17,000.
I think you should ask Home Advisors for a material list. You know what I mean? Like, if they're willing to spout off the numbers, then show them to me. Send me the list. I'll happily look at it. And they won't be able to do that. They won't be able to send you a list. It's like because they don't have a hot clue what they're doing. They're taking an average number from the cheapest $500 car to the most expensive deck, $150,000, and then they're doing an average. And they're like, it'll be 10.
And they're not accounting at all.
Garbage.
Like, I just had a burp, man, and it was like we ate.
Did we ever eat like kings today? It was payday.
Amato's Lebanese wraps. Oh my God, so good. But
Juanita, the estimator, has never had one. She had one today, and
she went home early. She was so banged up after that.
This is a true story. She was like, she quit answering the phone. She was just like, take a bite. Wade, I cannot believe how good these are. Where is this place located? Right down the street.
You drive by it every
this
day,
is not good. I'm going to be there lots. I was like, that's what happened to me too.
So this is what ticks me off all these websites. They have no business quoting in generalities like they do at all. Because for one, they have no respect for the market that the person might be calling in from. Like they may give prices. Like I just saw a graph the other day. It's like how much it costs to run lights in each state for a house. If you were going to put Christmas lights on like the Griswolds, that's what it was, actually the graph. It was like, it would cost you this much to run 10,000 light bulbs at Christmas. And then it was like, here's how much it would cost if you switch to LEDs. But the point I'm trying to make is if you looked at the cost of electricity in like Arkansas versus New York, it was like 3 times more in New York. And I'm not saying that directly translates to building materials, but it does. There's differences in how much building materials cost from one market to the next for a variety of factors.
Yeah. So like for us, Trex costs more here than in Winchester because it's got to leave Winchester.
Correct. And there's an exchange rate to deal with. So this person's on a website. That's exchange is only one of the things that might factor into it. But freight to get it places, the different margins, the different markups, like where you're shopping, like all these things play into it. The cost of living, like everything plays into how much those boards are going to cost in every market. So home advisors like, oh yeah, $10 a square foot, blah, here you go. And it's like, no, that maybe that's accurate in North Dakota, but it's not accurate in Tennessee or
Seattle,
Alberta,
Seattle, Washington.
whatever.
It's like, you don't have a clue.
And I don't know if he's talking about if they're quoting install stuff too, but then that would piss me off even more because they have no business quoting install for anything. One guy might charge $4 a square foot because he's terrible and doesn't care. And one guy might be $40 a square foot and he's really good at what he does. But how can you average it out and be like the average deck's going to cost blah to build?
22.
So I don't know how you combat that, but I think the first step is to be like, listen, that's just to explain that. That's a completely, that's using general averages from who knows where they get it from. This is like, it's not anything. I do a complete and full takeoff.
I think they get it from
14 years. I've built 2,000 decks, 14 years in the business. I know my stuff inside and out. This is what it's going to cost. Home advisors, who knows what they're using? Like you can't even combat it because you don't know how they're coming up these numbers. We just have to explain that to them.
Do you think we should sue Home Advisor? Let's do it.
I don't want to, but I do think but I do think that if you have a customer, have a client that's holding you to that and being like, no, you need to do it for that. Boom, red flag, gone.
Peace. Yep.
There is no need to combat and try to convince them otherwise.
And don't leave them anything. Don't leave them a drawing. Don't leave them your takeoff. Don't leave them a plan. Don't leave them anything.
That ain't your customer.
You don't owe them anything.
Correct.
Bounce. Get out of there.
Yep. So.
And spin your tires on their lawn too.
Dunning and Decking says it's all down to interpretation. Ask the home advisor to write the deck quote up for you. Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Home advisors suck. Trifecta says, I'm better than you, Wade. I don't know what that's referring to, but it's probably accurate.
At drinking?
NFDI says Home Depot. Effing aggravating. Not our type of client. Doesn't calculate any of the details we add.
Yeah.
Majestic Outdoors says it's like the homeowner who says, I figured out the materials cost and what's your labor? Nope, that's not it. I never ever built any deck ever for somebody who was going to supply their own materials.
Nope.
I was like, nope, I don't do that. Find somebody else. It's okay to say no to jobs. Mm-hmm. And that's what guys, like a lot of guys have learned that.
It's actually super empowering to say no.
It's important, yeah, and empowering. And
I used a different word. I said empowering. It
is empowering, but I just mean like...
Yeah, it's super important. No, that's not the word I said.
I'm allowed to have some words too.
Yeah.
But no, I had said that, like, what did I say before that? You said it's super empowering. I said it's okay to say no. What I meant to follow my own word up with was like, no, it's not just okay. It's important to have the confidence to say no.
Yeah.
Because that's when you start enjoying work again. Because in my experience, every time there's been a red flag that I didn't listen to, it has bitten me in the ass. And it's like, trust your gut on these people.
28 minutes. We're good.
So if somebody's home advisor said this, Home Depot said that, sounds great. Call the next guy on your list. I'm not the guy. I've got other more important clients that I need to take care of that do respect my time, my expertise, my craft.
I did that in the store a couple years ago, and the guy was floored when I told him I didn't want to sell him product. He was just like grinding, and then it was like, tell me this list and tell me that. And I was like, dude, that's as low as I go. Well, I'm telling you, my neighbor's got a deck and I got a deck. And then I said to him, I was like, I hope that you wouldn't send your neighbor in here.
Yeah, make sure they all go buy it from wherever you end up buying it.
And he was like, what? You don't want my business? And I was like, not like this. No, like I have no interest in selling decking at cost to you. And then for you to go tell all of your neighbors in your row housing? Absolutely not. Like, I'm not in this so that you can have a sweet deck and I can go broke. And he was just like, so you don't want my business? Nope, not like this. I'm willing to bend a little bit. I'll do some discounts because like whatever, it's a sale. Call it a sale. But I'm not putting it on for cost. That's not happening. And he was just like, he was mad when he left. It was awesome. Because then somebody else walked in and bought those boards and we made money at it.
Right. That's what people need to understand. Like the margins are not high in this stuff whatsoever. Like if you're running, in the business of selling building materials, if there's a sale on, that business is not making money. There's a good chance they're losing money on the sale. The sale is not to make money. It's to get rid of product. It's to liquidate product. It's to drive some people in for marketing reasons. It's whatever, but it ain't making money on that sale.
Nope.
Your margins are so thin that by putting any sort of sail on that's attractive, you're dipping into, you're pulling from your expenses and you're giving it to somebody else.
Is what it is.
Is what it is. Sousa says pen to paper. Unfortunately, there are a lot of deck builders that live deck to deck and don't, a lot of builders that live deck to deck and don't run a business. Yep. So that's true too. There's plenty of guys that on the evenings and weekends, like I used to, that have day jobs that don't need to be making a living off this and don't need to pay for a trailer. And that's not to say, like, I feel like I was still charging even when I quit my job and went full time, I was still charging the same rates. It wasn't like I was trying to bottom guys out or anything, but some guys don't have to. Like maybe they have a good job, they're doing this for fun, they're doing whatever, they're doing it. They don't need to pay the cost and the overhead of running a proper business and having employees. They're just doing it themselves. So they're like, yeah, if I make $15 an hour, I'm fine making $15 an hour.
So remember last week when we were talking about whatever it was that we were talking about, and we said that you should have the portfolio and you should present the portfolio. Mm-hmm. So like doing that, presenting your WCB and presenting some like some pictures and your insurance and your warranty and blah, blah, blah. If you do all of that, your weekend warriors aren't presenting that picture to them either. No. And so they'll be happy. Not that they'll be happy to, but they'll at least understand why your price is different than Home Advisor's price.
And this comes up to the whole pre-qualifying, which is a topic that comes up on Facebook groups quite a bit recently, is like the different things that people do to pre-qualify their customers before they invest the time in. And the things you can do over the first phone call. It's like a lot of people say if they don't have a budget and a plan, if they don't have a budget and an idea of what they're building, they don't do anymore.
Yeah.
Figure that stuff out. Get back to me when you have a bit of a sketch and an idea what you want to do and a budget in mind, and I'll work with that. But it's like at that point, they're kicking tires and they're like, I don't have time for this.
They don't. You don't have time for that.
I like Deck Protect saying, ask them why they deserve a discount, because I feel like people would just be floored to provide an answer at that point.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you deserve a discount? Because I want one's not an answer.
Yeah. You asked me to give up.
And if it is, then the answer is no.
Yeah. You gave up you want me to give up my money.
Yeah.
And I do. I give up our money lots. We donated.
Stop it.
We donated a deck to.
Stop giving up our money.
Like to a ball diamond. We donated to Build Love. We donate. There are worthy causes. Because you're trying to take your family to Paris next year, not my problem.
Well, and the thing is too, somebody's buying a $20,000 deck is making it $19,500 more affordable for you. Like it's not, it's about the win on the negotiation. They want to feel like they got something out of it more so than it's actually helping them to afford it. And furthermore, if it's because you can't afford it, that's your problem, not mine.
That's right.
Adjust your plans.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, I was hoping to spend 15.
You can't roll into Porsche dealership with a Cavalier budget and be like, I'd like a Porsche, please, at the price of a Cavalier because I can't afford the Porsche. Oh, let me see what I can do. Like, no, you buy the Cavalier.
Wow. I feel like we digressed. So
charging for the estimates has been the best move ever, says Seuss Outdoor Living. I've said this over and over and over again every time it comes up. Anybody who I encourage it, I think people should charge to go do their estimates. And I've never met a person who has said different than what he's saying. They all say best thing they've ever done.
Yep.
Agreed. They've all said.
I realized that I blurted out no.
I was waiting for. I was like, I can't wait to hear this.
But it was because I was reading. I was on to the next thing. So sorry. I support charging for estimates.
Absolutely, you should
make it happen.
And what people
refund the money.
What people are worried about is that they're not going to get as many phone calls.
Perfect.
And yes, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Perfect. You don't want as many phone calls. You want better phone calls.
You're going to lose all the phone calls.
Go ahead. You're chomping
didn't
at the bit.
want in the first place.
Well, isn't that just pre-qualifying your
100%?
Like it's
an easy way to do it.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. They're not willing to spend money right off the bat.
Right.
Bounce.
Save yourself an extra 5 minutes. Don't get the phone call in the first place. Because the people who are actually serious about it and actually want a quality builder, if that's the builder you're trying to be, is a quality builder who, you charge a little bit more because you put a little bit more into the deck, then you only want to talk to the people who are serious about it. And they won't have a problem paying you $50, $100, $200 for an hour consult and a quote. And most guys refund that back if they go with them.
Don't show up looking like a clown, though. Show up like you charge them. Because you charge them.
Right.
For your time. So don't roll in there dirty and whatever.
Unless your name is Rodeo Dex, then maybe you could get away with it.
Then be like a clown with assless chaps and get at her.
Yeah. So I think like we're getting away from this, but charging for estimates, absolutely. I think Steve's bang on. Like, and Steve, I think, was probably pretty timid to make that.
Yes, he was.
He was pretty timid to make that step. I didn't even know that he had made it, but now knowing that he's doing it and he says it's the best thing he's ever done, guy after guy after guy have said that best thing they've ever done.
Was that recently? Like
That he
after the
changed?
last podcast?
No.
No.
This was
Probably
probably
this
last
year,
year.
maybe.
So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Probably at the end of last year. Started charging this year. So
Okay. Yeah, he says if they can't spend $100, they can't spend $20K on a whole project
yep,
either.
bounce. See you later. Permit. To do or not to do?
This wasn't on your list.
Yeah, it was, man. It's right here. Look, it's number
Oh, it's still part of number 2.
2B.
Longest answer ever.
I know. Shane started talking.
The LED light guy says, my wife just asked, are they brothers?
Nope.
Attaboy, Wade. He says,
That's why I yelled at. That's my son.
oh, that's what you were yelling at. I see. God, this thing is hard to control when it's so far away and my arm is weak when I'm prepping for an arm wrestle.
I'm gonna wrestle the arm.
How do I get that back here? Okay.
Tired.
Joel says, hey, wieners from Mountain View Building Supplies.
That's my buddy Joel. I'm gonna play golf with Joel.
And Steve says, 100%, dude, you talked me into it in the past. See, we did that. We told him. Now we've removed a lot of stress from his life. I'll bet you that's true. You know who should make this step the next? Eric Teru.
Nope.
Charging for estimates.
Us.
You guys.
Yeah, us.
We're a retailer.
We
It's
need to
different.
slow down the phone calls.
We charge for things. We charge for designs. We charge for permits.
Permit. 2B.
Donegan, is this the new track saw debate? Charging for quotes? No, not the new one. Just an equivalent one happening in the same time space.
Track saws aren't a debate. Dunnigan, buy a track saw. It's not a debate.
If you were charging for estimates, you could afford one.
You'd already have it.
Right? Am I right? Right? 5 estimates pays for the track saw.
Yeah, I'm gonna do 6 estimates, get a set of blades and a track saw piece.
Always charge for your time, boys, says Ryan from Vinyl Guys.
Yeah, that's right.
He's right. Next. Permit. Should you get a permit? Yeah. Yeah.
You're not very good at this devil's advocate thing. Moving on.
I mean, I don't give 2 shots if you get a permit.
Number 3.
Personally, but like, are you supposed to? You're supposed to.
We're 38
It'll
minutes
save you
in.
some
You can
headaches.
swear now.
Oh, yeah, right. Here we go.
Okay.
That was my censor button.
So the third thing that people need to consider is the purpose and use of their deck. If you have given no thought to how you're going to use your deck, you absolutely cannot build a deck. There's no way.
I didn't hear that one. I was reading Ryan's comment on Instagram.
And now I'm in control.
Squirrel.
I've got him.
But he says your client gets paid to sit in their cubicle and make calls. What's the difference? That's a great point.
Who said that?
The client goes to
Who
their
said this?
job and sits at a desk for 8 hours a day and gets paid $30 an hour to sit there and write things on paper and type things in a computer. But they expect you to travel to their house, spend an hour there, travel back to your house, spend 2 hours there, coordinate back and forth, figuring out details, and they want you to do that all for free. Meanwhile, that's what they do at their job all day.
No. They're doing important stuff. You're not doing important stuff. You're just
Right.
You're just building a deck. Anybody can build a deck,
Yeah, right.
right?
Yeah. Sorry,
It's
I
not
was
that
off.
hard.
I was off.
Anybody
I was
can
off key
build-
there. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Shut up, Ryan. Don't stop you coming in here with those things. God, this is a good. We could just make the whole episode answering the questions on here,
Of course.
which would be better
My-
than
Why
this
was
bloody
this
list.
Instagram Q&A?
My podcast topic gets food.
Yeah, no, we'll do number 3 and then we'll go back to the exciting stuff. Number 3.
Purpose and uses. All right, we're all on the same page. We can move on. Let's start a new debate. Purpose and uses. So when you plan the deck, what do you think is the most important? I think, like I wrote down, you should talk about, or you should consider dining areas, lounging areas,
Taping
kitchens,
your joist.
hot tub, tape the joist. Size of gathering and the times of day that you're going to use the deck. Dining, lounging, kitchen, hot tub. Sizes of people that are going to be on there. Like, how big is Aunt Matilda?
Oh, a big girl.
Aunt Matilda, does she need 12-inch on center? Is she going to make it to your deck to
Her
go?
name's Matilda. She needs 8 inches on center, probably.
Is there a 30-foot well under your deck?
Plan for it.
And the time of day you're going to use the deck.
Yeah, so we get this quite a bit. People walk in, and unfortunately, with the people with the plans, it's like, come to me with the plan. Then they come with the plan. We're like, your plan is terrible. But
You big dummy.
listen, you didn't think about this. But no, I don't expect people to know these things because they don't do it every day. But it's like, I have a patio furniture I'm going to put on there, and they don't know how much space they might need to put their patio furniture on there. And it's like, well, like bare minimum 12 by 12 space. You want to have people to be able to kind of back their chairs out and not hit the railing, or people to walk behind when there are people sitting at the table. That's a comfortable size, be that or bigger. But sometimes people walk in, they're like, I'd like to do this deck, and I think I want it to be 10 feet out and 14 feet wide, and stairs are going to come out the house down into the middle of the deck and then off the side here. It's like they don't know to think about the flow of traffic and the space and everything. It's like, you understand that by having stairs at the bottom of the stairs, that's unusable space. People need to be able to walk there. You can't put anything there. And you've got them coming right into the middle of your deck, which means your entire deck isn't usable because you've now
You're not
split
following along at all.
it up. No, I am. What are you
That's
talking
number
about? Planning?
6. Look at number 6.
What? Purpose and uses, dining, lounging. Okay, sorry.
Stairs is on 6.
Not big stairs.
Stop talking about stairs
Okay.
on 3.
What am I supposed to be talking about on 3?
This is episode 85 all over.
You're just talking about like general uses, like how...
Yeah. No, but you're absolutely right. Those are things that are important to consider, right? You have to consider where the
Going
stairs
back
are
to my
going.
Instagram people.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready for my input again.
Yeah. You were supposed to be playing devil's advocate. You weren't advocating devils properly. So what I meant by this was just like, how are you going to use the space? Do you plan to entertain out there?
Oh, yeah.
Are you just going to sunbathe?
Mm-hmm.
Are you hosting birthday parties? I don't.
One a year. Just
One a
my
year.
own.
I don't host any parties. It's like,
No.
nope. Small gatherings. I don't like too many people. Get nervous. Big crowds.
So you're just talking about like having different zones for different
or if
uses or something? It's like, are you going to barbecue out there? Yeah, okay. Well, then you should have an area for your barbecue. Are you going to dine? You're going to have a fire pit. Have room for all of these
And
things.
this isn't like, they don't even need to come to the party with a plan. They just need to know what they want to do on the deck. Have an idea of how you want to use this space. We can tell you how big it is. Your contractor will tell you how big it is.
Right.
We're going to land within these setbacks and the zoning rules.
Yeah.
We're going to make the deck the size that you need it for the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
And we haven't wasted anybody's time because you told me how much money you're going to spend.
Right.
And your budget's $7,000, and so you are not getting the louvered roof system over top of the dining room table with the fire table.
So
in the
you
middle.
just want them to think about how they're going to use the deck, different functions of it, so that you can appropriately plan potentially the structure if we're talking about hot tub,
Because
or
planning is everything.
size and shape of different things, right? Planning is everything. Okay, I got it. Back to the title.
How hard can this be? I mean, this is a pretty simple plan.
Are we done number 3? Can I get back to the Instagram?
Yeah, let's read the Instagram.
Okay.
See if anybody else
This is
wants
so
to
good.
plan.
Okay, here we go. This podcast is going to get good again. Here we go. Well, I got to scroll back here. You just hold on here. Tracksaw's rule says deck protect. Deck protect says it's a point of protection for the homeowner and builder. It holds a minimum standard.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
The charging for estimates. Like,
Oh, sure. Okay.
you're a big deal. I charge for estimates.
New England Deck Pros says, I took my dog to the vet for a consult today. It cost me $800. Right? Right?
Vets do.
And nobody fell off a dog and died. Right?
That's right.
Nobody got a dog and was like, oh, this isn't big enough to entertain my whole family. Like,
I find the little ones are way more entertaining, actually.
Yeah.
Like run around, bite people's feet and stuff. It's like,
that's kind of funny. Sousa Outdoor Living says, design and build for your everyday. Don't design for those occasional 3 times a year. Yeah, but what if 3 times a year you have a wicked shaker in the backyard? No? Okay, just me.
you haven't had a wicked shaker in your life.
You've never been to a bubble party with 3-year-olds.
That's true. I got kicked out.
I'll invite you next time.
Showed up in the panel van. They were like, you got to leave.
Mountain View Joel says, when you stare into the camera, you're staring into my soul, Wade. # smoldering. And then he says, design for purpose.
Joel's been drinking.
LED Light Guy, people who want free options want free 99 decks. Walk away, qualify your customer, period. He says, what the hell is he talking about? People who want free quotes want free 99 decks.
Free 99. That's how much it costs.
Oh, I see. Free 99?
Yeah.
Free 99. Okay. He's probably in the sauce too.
Sounds like you got $1 for it, though, the 99. It's not a total loss.
Yeah.
Your accountant would appreciate that.
Go with number 4.
Number 4. So exciting. The environmental factors.
You know what the irony? I just realized the complete irony of this is that you called this thing planning is everything.
Yeah.
This is probably the least planned episode of the podcast ever. It's like it was whipped up real, like they're all whipped up fairly last minute, but like this was really last minute. This was, we forgot Bryce was upstairs.
Well, we didn't. You were downstairs hawking boards. Bryce and I were up here waiting.
Yeah. What were you doing down there?
Hawking boards. Are you selling anything?
No, he was just standing there when I
Were you
walked in.
I know I was
You were talking that lady out of a board.
merchandising.
She was like, I want this. And you were like, I don't think I'd buy that if I were you.
He was putting stickers on things.
Yeah.
I wasn't even putting them on. I was just like,
Environmental factors.
I was repressing them to make sure they stuck better.
You need to make sure that you don't have radium under your deck. Or radon gas.
Okay.
This is Bryce's idea. It was the environmental factors. And so he didn't want your deck to be like nuclear charged. You had to be careful of the environment.
Isn't this more of like a basement issue? I don't know. This is an open air deck issue.
No.
I don't build decks.
Is this real?
No, it's not. He was talking about like wind direction, how much sun is there. Are you trying?
What's the warranty on this board? It's 25 years fade stain, lifetime structural. Does it have a radium warranty? No, it doesn't have a radium warranty. What about radon? No, it doesn't have a radon warranty either.
Yeah, Freddie, it's got a radon warranty.
Yeah.
But you have to lick it every day. What? You have to lick the board to make sure the radon is off.
Yeah.
Couldn't I just use a pressure washer?
Nope. Not
Okay.
enough enzymes.
Environmental factor. So like consider the wind direction, consider like where the sun comes onto your deck, what time of day, blah, blah. Like,
It's up there.
yeah, but where does it land on the deck? Is it land where you wanted to do all of your eating
Yeah.
or lounging?
Right.
Maybe put your loungers over
So
there.
you're not talking about being environmentally friendly. You're just saying consider your environment.
Absolutely
and how
not.
It's
I
going
think
to
as far
impact you
as
enjoying
the
your
world
deck.
is concerned, like if you've used a composite decking, you've done enough for the environment. That alone, you've killed it.
Okay.
You're good. You recycled so many plastic bags. You're in a safe place. Now you can do whatever. Now you can just now you can spray malathion all over the place.
It's your get out of jail free card with the environmentalists.
Yeah. No. I use recycled decking and now I kill all of my bugs.
Stop driving that big diesel. No, it's okay. I've got a composite deck in my house. It's in the back. It's 10 by 12. They told me that would buy me 4 years of exhaust out of my truck.
There's enough carbon saved. I can now just run my truck for 4 years.
And I'm extending it next year. So then...
And then, do you have a view that you want to preserve? Are you like out onto a lake? Do you want to do cable rail or glass rail or something that so I know a perfect example of this. The deck that you built at Canada Valley, they were like, this tree doesn't go. That tree stays. Build the whole deck around that tree. And you were like, oh, okay. So they had given that some thought. They had considered their environmental factor. They wanted to sit down here. They wanted to look at the lake. They wanted that tree to stay. Right? That's it. That's all I was meaning. And then block out your snoopy neighbors.
That's a big one in Regina. Mm-hmm. In a lot of inner cities.
I was like, because you build 4 feet apart. Each
but
house
also
is
the
8 feet
wind.
apart.
The wind here too, especially in my neighborhood.
Check mark, killed it. Wade
over there.
wins.
Like we've sold some privacy screens to a couple of neighbors, more for wind than privacy.
Yeah,
because it's just like some days here are too windy to enjoy your deck, or at least in the spring they were, right? So you put up this wind wall, and now you can go out there and enjoy it. My one neighbor, she's like, "This is the best thing we ever did." They're out in their porch all the time now, like their front porch.
Yeah.
They didn't use it before because it was just a wind tunnel.
What happened was now they're closer to you, right? Like you should have considered that because now they sit outside and watch you. Because aren't they right across the street from you?
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Oh, you wanted that?
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
You were cheering for
putting on a show.
I gotcha. Voyeurism. Now you know.
Yeah. Hey, I got something to show the world. There was nobody outside looking because it was too windy.
Maybe why he's got so many kids.
Oh man, we're running out of people in comment. Come on, you guys, save me. Come on, comments. Your wife's in here now. I'm screwed.
Why?
I don't know.
You're not going to get in trouble.
Oh, that's
good.
maybe. I'm a little bit
You should show her how your face is peeling. She's
even virtually
intrigued.
to be between you and her right now.
She's intrigued by your peeling face.
Should have used my vacuum.
That's right. She's mostly intrigued by the vacuum because she watched the story and was like, what is the deal with that nose? And I told her about the vacuum. She was like, nope. I was like, yep, that's a true story. The vacuum happened.
I'll do a video.
Yes.
Should I fire that back up and we'll do a video? I don't have to do a video. Go on TikTok and search for nose vacuums.
Gross.
You'll see people, or pore vacuums, they call them.
Number 5.
Not just for your nose. Could be for anything.
Possible additions. Are you going to put a sunroom on there?
My deck? No.
Yep.
I have no.
Are you going to put a hot tub on it?
No.
Did you think about that when you were building your deck, that you might put a hot tub on it?
No.
No, exactly. Now you can't.
I did, but my wife was like, I don't ever want a hot tub. And so then that dream died. I think a hot tub would be great.
We should get one here. I also want a hot tub and JJ doesn't want one.
I don't disagree. We have a lot of room up here that was supposed to be for a ping pong table that never materialized. I would be open to a hot tub.
What do you
instead.
think? It's a hollow core floor. We probably could, man. We likely could put a hot tub up here.
Let's do it.
Okay. Hey, Barkley, give me a hot tub. Lower level. Are you doing an addition on the lower level? That's it. You're going to add another level. That's
Okay.
it.
That was a whole point.
The whole point was like possible additions. Sunroom, hot tub, lower level.
Because that's structurally, you need to plan for those things. Well, the lower level, maybe not. But the sunroom, if you're going to put a sunroom on, you need to plan for that. You got to have proper piles. You got to have your doubled up rim.
'Cause why,
tripled up
Shane?
rim, whatever. Because planning is everything. And if you're going to put a hot tub on there, you need extra strength too, right? Yeah. And the lower level, just if you want to do that later.
Yeah, you got to know where your stairs are going to go, right? You don't want to put your stairs.
You might not
on.
want to put stairs there yet at all. If you're going to have a lower
Exactly.
level.
You could have a slide until you got the lower level in, and then the slide could be gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what?
I
Read
don't
your
know.
comments.
Looks like you.
Next one. Comments. Get at her.
JJ's lovely thing says, how much longer till supper? Now that's the kind of question I can get behind.
I'm full still.
How much longer
Did you
until
tell her that we ate? We had big.
No,
pitas.
she wasn't in here yet.
We had big pitas at 3:30. I'm not hungry.
3:30 Wade's time, which was 6 o'clock. We just finished them.
Nope.
Awkward. Sousa says, always consider gas and electric.
Oh yeah. Sousa should be running this thing.
I don't know that I need my
fire
deck to drive anywhere. Anyway, that's not a terrible comment. I mean, surprising coming from Steve, but
Oh my god. He's been MIA for a year, and then Shane just roasts him. Thanks for coming in. Roast. See you next year.
I gave him some major props in his earlier comments, and now I'm just like tired. I'm tired of it. I've been too positive for too long. I need to light some shit and fire here. Anyway, but it's a good point. Are you going to eventually do a natural gas fireplace on your deck somewhere? Do you have a propane barbecue today, but you're planning on getting a natural gas barbecue? Like,
Would you
take
ever
care
do
of those
that? I
details?
don't want that. I'd never
Well, what?
want a natural gas barbecue. I don't like them.
I'm impartial. I have propane. I've always had propane. I've never owned a natural gas one to know, but I've heard people say it's like the food doesn't taste as good.
It's not as hot either. Doesn't get as hot.
Not a problem with my barbecue. I got to keep an eye on that sucker.
That's what I mean, because it's propane, right?
Yeah, turn it up to 1,000, no problem.
But natural gas, you're not going to get that hot. It doesn't burn that hot. You ever watch a house
I don't
fire?
know that I need it to get that hot.
Houses don't burn that hot with natural gas fires. You get a propane fire in there, that's why you have to keep your tanks outside. Because if the propane lights on fire, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
house burns faster.
It's far more devastating to stand back in the street and watch your house burn down from propane than natural gas. That's
right?
for sure.
It's been my experience.
Oh my God, all my memories are going up hotter than I want them to.
I feel like it'd be better if your house was going up in propane because it would just be over.
Yeah, poof, done. Anyways, so that was my argument, was that the propane cooks hotter. And so when I cook steak, I like to sear them, right? And so it's got to be like, it's got to be close to 1,000 degrees, like you said. Set it on there, and it better be like, it's got to be sizzling, or I'm not interested.
Yeah. So
Next.
yeah, run your lines now if you're going to do it, because it's hard to dig things into the ground or frame underneath your deck later if your deck's not super high off the ground.
Yep. Unless you have short friends, then you're good to go. Like Bryce. Bryce, come dig this trench.
I am shorter than both of you.
That's true.
Functionality is more important than aesthetics.
I don't know if he's like
even
usefully shorter though. You know what I mean? Like he's not. It's not so
He's
short
like
where
the
he can do
19
things you can't do.
He's like the 19.5. I was
not
going
like
to build
you-
a deck that was 20, and he's like 19.5.
It's not like you drop someone to the fridge and you're like, Bryce, go get that. Like just walk under there and go get that. It's not like that. The table maybe.
There's, yeah.
Oh, look. No questions. Hold on. There's questions. Sousa says, propane fire table versus gas, though. Having a few drinks and darn, we need to swap the bottle. Well, don't, like, how many drinks are you having, Steve? You're burning through a whole propane bottle. What?
Planning is everything, Steve. You should
Yeah.
have known you had people coming over. Put the full bottle in.
Yeah. Right?
That's what I thought.
I mean, if you're going to drive to Saskatchewan tomorrow, Steve, you're going to fill up the tank before you go.
Just like, unless you're like me and then you just head off on the road. Oh boy, I should have thought that through. I got to get gas here.
Oh my God.
We broke stuff. Okay. So number 6, last thing, functionality versus aesthetics.
I didn't know that this was going to be our last podcast ever, but it feels like it should be. I was like it just feels like this one should be our sign off.
So
okay, number 6.
How can you most usefully or efficiently use the space? So plan your size to reduce waste, optimize board size.
Sorry, what? Your title is functionality and not aesthetics.
Yeah. And so like, if you're I don't know if aesthetics is is the exact thing. Like, I don't know if that's exactly the right one.
Plan to work with the materials efficiently, right?
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like, don't build a 14 by 10 deck, push it to 16.
Same price.
Because you're going to buy 16-foot boards and cut them apart anyway. You might as well just throw a couple more joists on it and go with a little bit bigger space.
Probably actually costs you less to do a 16 by 10 than it costs you to do a 14 by 10.
I don't know how that would be possible, but okay. How would it cost you less?
Because, maybe the...
Gotcha, bitch.
Well, so here's the thing. Maybe it doesn't cost you less, but maybe your cost per square foot is lower at 16 by 10 than your cost per square foot at 14 by 10.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that I can get I agree with that.
Right. Because you're going to add 2 joists. You have $60 worth of framing and a couple hangers. So you're at $100
couple feet of rail, yep.
Right? So you added $100 and you got 2 more feet of deck.
Yep.
Or 20, depending on how you want to do the math on that.
I don't know how you're doing it, but
2 times 10.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah, just optimize board use and stuff. And so that is as easy as figuring out what the heck you're building with. Have an idea of what you're putting together, right? How long do the boards come? If you're doing the bamboo boards, then it doesn't matter. That's fine. They're 6 feet long. They interlock. You don't have to be as worried about 14 feet. But if you're doing composite or cedar, they're 16 feet long. Do 16 feet. 16 foot 9.
Yeah, it takes a little bit more planning than a house where like you have standard.
Nope, not true. I've built a couple houses. It's not even close. Houses are way harder to plan than a deck.
Let me finish this.
Anybody can build a deck.
Let me finish this thought. What I mean is that the building materials are made to what standard house sizes are, and decks are very not standard, so therefore you got to plan for it more.
Yeah.
A house, it's like, how much drywall do I need? It's like, well, your ceiling's 8 feet tall. Yep. Okay. Well, then you need 4 foot wide sheets.
Yep.
Is it 9 feet tall? Okay. Well, you need 4.5 wide sheets.
But the
materials come to fit the size that people build things at. But with decks, it's like there's no rule book. It's not like 13.5 foot decks are like 80% of what gets built. So therefore we make our boards 13.5 feet long. It's like, no, they just make them in certain lengths and you got to play to the materials rules, not the other way around.
Yeah. And that sort of happens in the house industry as well. When we built our house, we did 10-foot walls and there was a bit of a pushback from the builder. It was like, going to 12s isn't actually going to cost you that much more. Like if you went to a 12-foot interior wall instead of a 10-foot interior wall because of the material, right? You're taking your 4-footers and cutting them in half, blah, blah. But anyways, I said, have you seen the price of paint? So then we did 10-foot walls. Last example.
Home Advisor said the 10-foot walls are way cheaper than the 12-foot wall.
Yeah. The last one that I had on here was stairs should be divisible by 20 feet. Lights and trims like that can be considered functional, right? Like adding some lighting for your stairs so your grandma doesn't trip down.
Explain the stairs divisible by 20 feet.
Solid edge deck boards that you use on your stairs
I see.
are 20 footers. And so make sure that the boards cut up nicely into that 4-foot or 5-foot, not 6-foot. 6-foot wide stairs are not ideal.
Yeah, you get a little bit of waste that way for sure. Unless
you can use them as
you're
returns.
doing picture frames, then you can use up those 2-foot chunks.
Yeah, because then it's 7-8 feet, and then you've only got 12 feet of wasted board.
Yeah,
good to go. Don't do big stairs. I think that whenever people walk in here and they're like, I want to do this giant, long, cascading, 13-foot wide set of stairs that sprawls out onto my lawn. It's just like that monstrosity costs as much as your whole deck. What are you doing?
People pretty commonly underestimate the cost of stairs on their deck.
It's the worst.
For one, because they never calculated it into their head in the first place.
Oh, it's over.
Oh, no. Delete. That one's not worth saving. And so they often don't calculate it in the first place. They think like how much, even if you're able to give them a square foot number, you're like, it's $20 a square foot for materials or something. Then they're like, oh, my deck is 10 by 10, so $2,000 then.
Yep.
Yeah, but
And then stairs.
$500 for the stairs.
Yep.
And they never calculate that part in. And then they want some big fancy stairs. And it's like, not only did you not calculate it, your stairs are going to cost as much as the deck. This is now a $4,000 deck, not a $2,000 deck. How? It's just stairs. Yeah, but look at the amount of materials going into it. Mm-hmm. It's as much as the deck. And if you're hiring somebody to do it, it's far more complicated and time consuming than building the deck. The stairs.
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
I don't got to tell you that.
You don't got to tell me that. I already knew that. That's why I said don't do big stairs.
Yeah. Unless you can afford it.
And then do big stairs and buy other stuff from me because I love selling big staircases. I always try and talk.
I do like big stairs.
Yeah.
But in some design applications, they can make a lot of sense. You know what I had is a customer that came in.
Fruit roll up.
What?
You had a fruit roll up.
Nope. A couple weeks ago. They are.
You should have one.
And she wanted to build this deck, and she wanted this because it can make for a very grand entrance. You know, people ought to spend a lot of money in their front yard, kind of landscaping and building for curb appeal in the front yard, and then they want big stairs or like a grand entrance, whatever. A deck you can get that same thing, and usually that starts with a nice big set of stairs. But she had this idea that she had copied off Pinterest or something, and it was like the deck. But she's like, I don't want any stairs included. And I was like, okay, it sounds good. Cause she's like, cause I want to do this. This is the dream. And it was some cast concrete box planters. And in between it was like concrete steps, but everything was up to the height of the deck. And there was some planters and some lights built into it. It was a super cool look. It was very industrial, like just a different material getting mixed in with the rest of the decking.
Awesome.
And I thought that looked way cooler than just putting a set of composite deck stairs on their deck.
Probably cost the same.
I
Nope.
don't know about that, but it was.
I looked it up. I looked it up on Home Advisor, and they said concrete costs $10 a square foot.
Yeah,
and so that's what we're doing.
$4 a bag, right?
Unbelievable.
Couple bags.
I don't know. So that's it for my list. Do you want to add anything to that?
So much I want to add.
Okay, well then.
No. This is your show.
You can add. I add to your shows. That's why.
This is I thought you were only going to 4.5 in the first place.
That's why so many people tuned in.
For what?
Because I add so much to the show.
Yeah, well, you led the show today. That's why people are here.
All 6 of them.
Instagram, we got to fire back up. People joining back in. If you have any comments on Instagram, fire them up now because thank God this one's over. It wasn't that bad. I just think it's funny.
An ending.
I just think it's funny to grind you a little bit too. Not to like razz you a little bit about your hosting here. So it was fine. You did well.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Have the podcast? It's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah. Any
Mitcon Deck says, nice job, Wade.
Thanks, buddy.
He liked your hosting.
Do you have any updates on the social channel? Like last week you were bragging about more followers and YouTubing, and what else is going on? We got anything new going on? Any new programs that we're running that I don't know about? How's Deck Destruction going? You guys killing it?
We dropped the ball on that one.
Killing that one.
I say we, but the whole reason we hired Bryce was to make sure those kinds of things kept happening when I got busy. And so it's not we. Bryce has dropped the ball on that one.
Right. The podcast doesn't get edited every week put on YouTube. And now we're actually making money at it.
He's pumping
are we?
We
getting paid?
Yeah.
Tons of podcast stuff out.
He is getting
Somebody actually asked me the other day what happened to Destruction. Mike.
Yeah.
Mike from Decked Out's like, what? Oh, you were maybe here. Mike was like, when's Destruction happening again? Oh, kind of neat. And I was like, I don't know. We kind of got away from it. But we have some
we have a lot of stuff.
We got some stuff we want to do. We got some stuff lined up that we need to do.
Yeah.
Is that here?
It's ready to go.
It's here?
Is it?
The next blow.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Too far.
Now, that was too far. That is ready anytime we're ready.
Oh, okay.
So that could be a good
when are you ready?
So no, we don't have any. I don't know. No, we don't have any great news to share. Our YouTube channel has cracked 1,000 subscribers, just about 1,100, I think, at this point.
11,100.
something, whatever.
How many of those did we buy? Did we buy followers for that one?
No.
Oh, that's too bad. We should buy followers. It's way easier to get followers.
I hear. Yeah, like Dr. Dex, he bought all his.
Yikes. Now you're shooting shots.
I just think it's funny because
it's like every third post he like, I didn't buy any.
I don't think he did, but it's just like,
I don't think so either.
I'm taking shots at everybody right now.
Stop bringing it up. Just like,
yeah.
Hungry men talk about bread.
Jesus.
Did these make sense?
Yeah,
these like
that made sense.
dadisms and just throw them in.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was using it properly, being that I'm not a dad. I'm not sure when I should use them and where they should.
There's Eric. Eric just showed up. We hit 15,000 subscribers on Instagram, and we're charging along. We're at like 15.4 now, just what I think.
Yep.
So that's pumping along. So follow us there, and the YouTube channel is gaining traction as well. We were kind of stagnant at about 500 there a couple months ago because we weren't really doing any content. We put out a few videos, got some traction. Now Bryce has been focusing on putting out some YouTube stuff, and so now we're charging forward on that as well. Lots of videos up there. I just looked at our original Trex video we did. The 2019 Trex lineup has hit like 75,000 views. That one is still charging forward in spite of the fact that we've since done 2 newer videos. Go figure.
I don't know. Okay.
That's
maybe
the moneymaker right there.
we looked thinner then.
Thinner, younger,
We should dye.
handsomer.
Maybe we should dye our beards black. Not our hair, just our beards.
I would do it. I could do this. I could just for men my chin at least.
Then I could get 2 bottles and just for men mine beard. Let's do it.
You might need some roofing blackjack.
Let's do it.
I'm game. We
should
could do that
bet.
as a video too. Sousa's asking beauty, are you guys slammed? So we last couple days have
just
been
had
too
one beer.
busy. Last couple of days have been slower ones, catch-up days, but the first week of July was busy. And June was our biggest month ever, and May was our second biggest month ever, and
Banana Land.
what? Cocaine in the bananas. Full circle. I see what you did
It was
there.
Banana Land. It was like we were selling cocaine in deck boards. It was so good.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been busy.
It's good though. It's fun.
Challenges. You want to talk about challenges a little bit, or we just want to shut this thing down and get out of here?
If we shut it down and get out of here, I have to go home and make supper. If we
Challenges are happening right now. Let me do you a favor here. It's challenging right now. There's some frustrating things happening right now in the industry, and like everybody that's in here is familiar with it. There's shortages on everything. We can't get a frickin' order out without some sort of back order on it. It's frustrating.
And then you know what? This is the stuff that really grinds my gears. We do get an order out, and our guys send the wrong shit.
Sure. Yeah. Something's going to go wrong with the one you do get right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a deck delivery, 45 minutes south of town. Good deal. What are we going to do? We're going to take them decking. How much decking? We're going to take them 50 boards. Great. Let's take 47 that are one color and 3 that are the other color.
What?
How in the hell does this happen?
Sounds like this is a real thing you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
This today?
Delivered a deck package to Moose Jaw yesterday. Got an email today. 3 of the boards are not the right color.
Like, what were they?
Coastal Bluff.
And what were they supposed to be?
No, sorry. They were supposed to be Coastal Bluff.
And
They
what were they?
were not.
But how far off are we talking here?
Toasted Sand. They were in the same row.
But they're not even in the same pot. Like, they're not in the same spot.
Guy. These are all the same questions I asked the guys earlier.
Smokes.
And Pat was like, guys, they have stickers on the end of the board. They're stickers.
And they're not
a
the
totally
same
different
spot.
color.
And they're a different color. Yeah, so the challenge right now, like, it's frustrating because we've got, like, it's frustrating on multiple ends. Like, on your end, it's frustrating because there's a gajillion POs that are just sitting partially fulfilled. It's like, it's a nightmare to try to bookkeep and receive all this stuff when, like, nothing comes completely. Nightmare on my end because it's like, I get frustrated. I walk out the front door here and I look, like, right out the second floor is the textured black Regal stand, and it's just empty. It's empty.
Yep.
And there's been tens of thousands of dollars of it on order, and it's just not coming.
We got a shipping notification today. 3 of your POs from Regal got.
Oh, so that might be it. There's
Sent-
40 grand worth coming. That's supposed to fill his racks back
Yeah.
up. But it's like, that's a super popular color. The stuff flies out of here.
Yeah.
You're selling decks like crazy. There's not enough railing on that stand to do a single deck.
You couldn't do a front landing right now.
Couldn't do anything with it. And it's like, it's been on order for a while. It's like lumber's all shortage now too. Like, we're in a better situation than a lot of places, but we're out of some things here and there. And there's no relief coming as far as when it's going to get refilled. Decking brands, like TimberTech's told us a couple color, like the distributors told us, like, these colors are done for this year. Excuse me? Yeah, you can't
Somebody
get
told
those
me-
colors now this year.
Somebody told me, this might
Really?
have been you, that Fibron shut down the fascia lines.
Just heard that today. So our store in Saskatoon sent a message
Heavy
and
D.
said, heads up, Fibron has told us, or the distributor for Fibron has told us that they're no longer running fascia and risers out this year. I assume that's in an
No,
effort.
that's not. They are going to do it this year. They're going to take a month off.
Oh, sorry, until later in the fall. So I'm assuming they're going to retool those lines to extrude decking to try to get decking out, right?
They're going to run decking for a month out of the fascia plant.
I guess that kind of makes sense. You can do the fascia later kind of thing, but it's like that's what everybody's dealing with right now is that you can't get product.
It's unbelievable. And then
Joist hangers. We're like flirting with joist hangers all the time. You get orders in, you get 30% fill rate. It's like your order comes and it's like 70% of it's back ordered.
From
When's
a company
in 4 weeks.
From a company that has never done back orders. In our 4 years, every time we've ordered, it's been like 1 or 2 things tops.
Yeah.
Basically no back orders.
Yeah.
And this year it's like, yeah.
And so this year, I came into the ordering this year thinking like we're gonna run this tight. These guys deliver stuff weekly. We're ordering it a week or 2 at a time, and then we're gonna order more. And then now it's like, just give me whatever you got on the shelves here. We'll take it. I don't care if we don't care. I just put it on a truck, get it down here, so I'll set it back. I don't do this. Go. It's like you try to just fill up what you need, and now it's just like, no, send me a truck of Trex. Just give me a truck of Trex. I can't like try to pick lifts here. Just send me a truck from the plant. Do that.
Yeah.
Just send me whatever you can send me.
Fun. And then in the fall, then it's going to be like, you come in here and you're going to get a little coastal bluff. You're going to get some coastal blast, 12-footer coastal. Give me 5, give me 5, give me 7. That's like, that's what's going to be going on this fall. Auction. We're going to be auctioning shit off just to pay bills because Chapman in the middle of the year got all like pen happy. Like, send me a truck of this. Send me a truck of that. Yeah. I can't get decorators. Send me a truck. It's like, dude, that's a most expensive board in the store. Send me a truck.
Yeah. It'll be easy to sell those when you can't get the cheap ones, though. Eric says, or the shipper loses part of the pallet content.
Hey, no big deal when that stuff flies off. Probably because it was sitting on top of the milk truck.
New England Deck Pro says, this shortage might push everyone to steel. Oh, so there's and then Eric Theroux says, Fibron had a plant fire a few weeks ago. I didn't hear about that. So they had a plant fire, apparently. That would play into things as well. So as far as pushing the thing to steel, so I've seen this happening in the Facebook groups a little bit this year. People are saying like nobody can get pressure treated lumber. If they find it, it's obnoxiously priced, and people are saying like start framing with steel.
Let's do it.
Use
Let's
the Fortress
move
stuff. It's 2 to 2.5 times what treated normally is, and now treated is costing 1.5 to 2 times more than it should. So the price difference is nearly a wash.
You just went through this, right? Today you were doing our new lumber prices.
Yeah, I haven't entered them yet, but like buy your lumber now. It was all over the map. So what I was hoping because the prices for us, like our cost to buy it, went up about a month ago. However, we, being the largest purchaser
settle down
of pressure treated lumber through TAG at the start of the year. I don't know if that's
not true.
I don't know.
We buy the most pressure treated lumber.
We booked quite a bit of pressure treated lumber at the start of the year, which meant we got to rebuy at that price again in the middle of the year, up to 50% of what we bought.
Right.
So we did that, and so we got old pricing again on that, and stuff had gone up, but we had held the price from before. So we're still working through some of that, so we haven't had to adjust our prices yet. But everything that's getting infilled now is going to be
we're out now
at the new price. And so I was hoping that was like, hey guys, how much did it go up? Is it just like 10% across the board? And it's like, no, it's kind of all over the place. So then we had to sit down and do the math instead of just doing a bulk price adjustment.
Which is tricky because math is hard, right?
Math is hard. But it wasn't as hard. It's that it's way more wild than I thought it would even be. I thought like, if it's going to be like this one's 7%, this one's 9%, this one's 8%. It's like average out, increase at 8%. Nope. Some things were 5%. Some things were as high as 22%. And everything in between. Most things around 10, 11% with most of them. But like 2x4 8-footers, 22% they went up.
So we're going to take the whole line, or are we going to take the whole line up 25%? The whole thing.
Go to the highest number.
And then sell steel.
But now we got to go through and adjust things by however much they went up instead of just doing a bulk price adjustment because it just varied too much to be able to do a bulk one. So anyways, treated lumber is going up like on average 10, 11, 12%. It looks like some outliers going up more than that.
That's tough. I always tell like there's always sort of two sides to every coin. And so for the homeowner, that's unfortunate because they end up with a more expensive deck. And the actual reality of this for lumber yards is it's not awful when the lumber goes up like that.
If you can get it to sell it.
Correct. So, but if you sell it, at the end of the day, we actually make more profit because we're percentage based on margins.
Well, you make a margin. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you make a margin. If the thing costs more to buy and you charge a similar margin, then you make more profit.
Right. Yesterday, Timmy moved a board and we made $1.06 on it. And today he moved the board and we made $1.11 on the same board because the price went up. So therefore
So we make more money when the lumber is more expensive.
Yeah.
And it's only really, really bad if one person jumps the lumber price or one person bottoms the lumber price, right? If everybody's boards go up, then it's good. Like if us and every lumber yard in Saskatchewan has an increase, then it's okay for all of us. But it's not ideal for the consumer because they end up having to pay more. And it should make no difference to the contractor because you pay that, like you pass that along. They should also be considering the idea of profit versus cost.
Yeah, but where it gets tricky for the contractors is that they dump a bunch of quotes at the start of the year based on one price and then it changes, right? And I've tried to give some heads up to the guys that come through our place to be like, heads up, tree lumber has to go up some point. I'm trying to hold it as long as we can, but heads up, it's coming. And they're going, well, how much? And it's like, well, like roughly 10%. But they've got some quotes out there and it's like, and it's like, in spite of telling them.
And writing on your quote that they're only valid for 30 days.
Right. And then there's some contractors that maybe you didn't get a communication to. They didn't see the email or they didn't come into the store for 4 weeks and leading up to the price change or something, right? And then they sell a deck and then they come in and pick it up and it's like, if it's only 10% on treated lumber, that's probably not a huge impact. It's not going to be massive. But if a brand of decking was to go up 8-10%, which happened this year.
We got kicked in the knackers a couple of times.
Well, we didn't, right? We held our price on Trex. We actually dropped on Transcend. In spite of the fact that our price went up, we actually dropped on Fiber at the start of the year. And we held steady on TimberTech, who also went up. So like all the prices went up in composite. We held ground.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Pretty silly.
Pretty noble of us, I guess.
Somebody should send us a badge or a medal or something.
I'd wear it.
I wouldn't, but I'd just like to know that I got one.
Anyway, hardcore.
Okay, 115.
Hardcore's Tex, send me a truck of PT lumber. Nope.
Yeah. Nope. Only fence boards on their way.
See one, it's mine.
What did Eric say? Capitalism.
Capitalism in action. Yep. I'm guessing he was replying to your comment of like, so everything's going to go up 25% then.
That's right. We'll make some money.
Yeah. This is your show. I'm waiting for you to end this thing.
Okay. Well, that's it. Have you been able to... This is the Saskatchewan goodbye.
Still waiting.
Have you been able to line up Varney? Even trying to talk to him anymore?
So I did try to line up Varney the week after we did it. And he's like, yep, he didn't reply until the day of. And then he's like, sounds good. And then he sent me back a text of his son, Taylor, and I can't remember the other son's name, but water skiing. He was in the boat water skiing. He's like, call anytime. We can do this. And I was like, are you sure? Like you're in the middle of the lake.
Yeah, throw my headphones on.
This can wait till next week.
He's such a funny dude.
Well, that'll be good. I can do it. I was like, you know what, Jason, let's just plan it for next week because like we don't need to like interrupt you in the middle of doing that. So, anyways, then I didn't follow up again. So
okay, well that was 86. I didn't hate it. I likely won't host anymore though. Seems like a lot of work.
That was it.
All of this planning, such a waste.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so much easier to just roll in and sit down. Oh, plus your phone died.
Are you going to sign this off here then? Oh, yeah. I guess we have to go.
Thanks so much.
Here.
That's it.
There you go. There's your chance. Final words?
Tune in next week.
Tune in next week. There it is.
You've been listening to the Ultimate Deck Podcast. Ultimate Deck Podcast. Brought to you by the Ultimate Deck Shop. Shop with us at www.ultimatedeckshop.com or check us out at all the social networks we can keep up with. Hit us up for any collaboration or sponsorship opportunities. Thanks for listening.